Hi, the person I chose was Dorothy Parker. She was an American writer, poet, and critic who was born in West End, New Jersey in 1993. She ended up growing up in Manhattan, Upper West Side. She had a very miserable, unhappy childhood. Her mother and stepmother died when she was young, and her uncle Martin died on the Titanic as it went down. And to make things worse, her father also died the following year. Growing up, Dorothy attended a Catholic grammar school until her education came to an end at the age of 14. For work, in 1914, she sold her first poem to Vanity Fair. And if you don't know what that is, it's a monthly American magazine, and it covers like fashion, pop culture, and like current events and stuff. And by the age of 22, she took a job at Vogue working as one of the editors. When 1917 rolled around, she joined Vanity Fair, taking over for P.G. Wodehouse as a drama critic. In 1919, Parker became a founder of the Algonquin Roundtable, which is a group of people from New York City who are writers, critics, actors, wits, etc. And this circle consisted of Robert Benchley, Harpo Marx, George S. Kaufman, and Edna Ferber, and was known for its scathering wits and intellectual commentary. In 1922, Parker published her first short story called Such a Pretty Little Picture. Over the years, she contributed to poetry, fiction, and book reviews as the consistent reader. Her first collection of poetry, called Enough Rope, was published in 1926 and was the bestseller. And she continues to release more poetry, which was very successful, but she suffered from depression and alcoholism. She has also attempted suicide. A major event that was happening while she was alive was World War II. And I looked up like what work she has, and stuff she wrote about during this time was like primarily focusing on the human costs of the wars and struggles of women on the home front, and actively voicing her opposition to fascism by supporting the war effort and warning against the growing threats of Nazism in Europe before the war began. She even co-funded the Hollywood Anti-Nazi League. In 1934, Parker married actor slash writer Alan Campbell in New Mexico. The couple relocated to Los Angeles and became a highly paid screenwriting team. They ended up getting an Academy Award nomination for A Star is Born in 1937. And side note, they recently remade this movie, and it starred Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, and it was extremely successful. Was inducted into the American Academy of Arts and Letters in 1959 and was a visiting professor at California State College in Los Angeles in 1963. That same year, her husband died from an overdose, and she was found dead of a heart attack in a New York City hotel at the age of 73. As a firm believer in civil rights, she bequeathed her estate to Dr. Martin Luther King. Upon his assassination the following year, the estate was turned over to the NAACP. Overall, she was a very successful writer who was passionate about women's rights. Later in the course, we talk about her poem called The General Review of the Sex Situation. And in the poem, she talks about gender, loss, love, and marriage.